Everybody, get a glass of water, go to the restroom. All right, sit up straight. This is Barney Beekeeper's first video in like 2 years. All right, 1 hour and 9 minutes. This is like a freaking movie, dude. This is like, oh, like, yes. We just finished watching all of the other Barney videos like recently, like a month ago. I'm actually really ashamed. I didn't know who Barney was until like 6 months ago, and my chat was flaming me like, dude, how do you not know? I'm like, my bad, bro. So we watched like all of the Barney series, which was phenomenal, by the way. Probably top 1 series on the internet for World of Warcraft, and now we get to watch the finale. And without further ado,
you are witnessing here is a level 69 undead rogue, 72 experience points away from level 70, about to kill Kel'Thuzad for the last time. Once I kill this lich, the slow descent into misery begins. Once I kill this lich, it's time for rep farming, to enter dungeons, to rep farm, to enter the same dungeon, but worse. Rep farm to gain entry to content and some boss design World of Warcraft. Once I kill this lich, only pain and suffering awaits me, but at least I get to share this moment with my guild, the guild I had all my classic adventures with.
20k, let's go!
Yes, I did! Let's fucking go!
Let's go! Yeah! Hell yeah.
you're at 70, Barney.
That's a clip.
At least, at the very least, we'll always have each other. And then the GMs went rogue and stole 100k from the G-Bank and transferred off. But that's a story for another time.
Okay. Yeah. Sick mount. Sick mount. So presumably the last video was Barney getting the Scarab Lord mount, right? And that was like 2 years ago or something. And now we have Barney playing through Burning Crusade, presumably level 70 ding. This is maybe like TBC, and then the end of Classic. Maybe that means Barney won't be playing Kata. I don't know. Let's take a look. Such a good episode. It was such a good episode. It's cool I get to watch this live with you guys instead of like 2 years delayed. No one knows what happens unless you watch it like this morning or something, or yesterday.
Welcome to the end of Classic. Last adventure well, you know, obtained Scarab Lord across a grand tetralogy, delivering unto you my magnum opus. A series so cool and epic, I got my own Wowhead article written about me.
Whoa.
Thank you. I know, 42 whole words. Who would have thought, huh? A series so poggers, we sold out all the plushies in like 3 days.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna activate their sentience soon. The series was so swag. They put me in Hearthstone.
Oh, really?
What? Oh, you don't think this is a me reference? This card could have been any race, any class, but they specifically chose Rogue. Undead Rogue. Are you not convinced? Because I'm not convinced. I think I'm actually reading into this too much and I just have an ego now. It's not like the card says a quote from my video and you play it.
Yeah, sometimes that happens when you're a streamer. It's like main character syndrome. They were re-releasing hardcore self-found mode last month, and I was like, oh, they're re-releasing it on the exact 1 year anniversary of the time I made my first hardcore character, Shannon, and like they're doing it as a tribute to me, and everyone was like, no, Czar, no, they aren't. You're reading into this way too much, bro. Relax. Okay.
Oh wait, it totally fucking does that. I'm not just a Scarab Lord.
I'm not just a Scarab Lord.
I'm the Scarab Lord.
I'm the Scarab Lord!
Oh, it is true.
God, they said the line. What more is there to say? The
Yeah, that is
accolades you have
true.
all showered me with is
That is
beyond
true.
anything I could have expected. I put my entire heart, soul, body, and mind into that project. It was nothing short of a labor of love with so much thought and care put into it. I can't possibly top it. I've peaked.
No.
It's downhill from here. But you'll join me for the ride back down, right? Right?
Hey man, I think I speak for everyone here when I say, we come here to listen to your stories because we just love to hear you tell them. Whether it's a cinematic masterpiece crafted over multiple years, or just a simple tale of how you camped some bozo. We'll be here to listen because if you're the one telling the story, well, that's a story that we want to hear.
Oh my god. Wait a minute. This guy's being nice in World of Warcraft.
What the heck?
Let's get him.
So as you might have deduced from the title, this video takes place during the tail end of WoW Classic, specifically the last 3 weeks. Our story begins on May 10th, 2021 with a blue post from community manager Kyvax, which reads the following. In order to prepare our game service to be ready for both the upgrade to the Burning Crusade Classic and the availability of Classic era realms, so excited for those, we will close the auction houses on all WoW Classic realms at 10 AM PDT on Friday, May 14th. We expect auction houses to become available again when the game service resumes following maintenance on May 18th. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you for your understanding. And everyone understood. The end. I mean, no one understood. Congratulations for having this stupid idea. Why? Seems like something that can be easily avoided. 4 days for a job that should take 2 hours? Yawn. Cloud and Data Solutions Architect here. This is the dumb. It's 4 days. What fits your description of a few? I don't think that word means what you think it means. Beware the Ides
WoW
of
forums,
May.
bro.
Don't mind me
WoW
just
forums.
necroing this post for a video. Lol. It was obvious the people were upset. 4 days was a very long time to go without the auction house, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Well, nothing most people could do about it. But what if? What if there was a freedom-loving Orgrimmarican patriot out there who could utilize their exorbitant social capital to start a movement against this decision? What if they got on their raptor, because they're still hiding their Scarab Lord mount at this point in the timeline, and started protesting outside Orgrimmar Auction House? Well, it just might work. Don't close the auction house, Blizz.
What he be doing, man?
Back and forth I marched, patrolling the entrance, the voice the people needed. Flash 2, wave 2. Don't close the auction house, Blizz. This is the best idea I've ever...
Bro. This blows my mind. This footage was taken 3 years ago. And Barney still has this as like a concept, an idea, and remembers what the footage was about, and still has it saved, and the file hasn't been corrupted, and like... Does that blow your mind as much as it blows my mind? Like that like 3 years ago footage for my stream, or like, dude, I don't even remember, man. I don't even, that's wild. That's
ever had in my life.
He be losing his mind, man.
Of course, those who seek to usher in positive change will always be ridiculed for their compassion, their message twisted and bastardized by reactionary grifters. But in this world of Warcraft, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. 6 hours later. Somehow, my peaceful protest had spiraled out of control and was now a riot. How on earth did that happen? Anyway, our new message was pretty clear. If we can't use the auction house, we're gonna burn it to the fucking ground.
I gave somebody 28 gold to buy a Kodo. They better fucking
Watch out! Thank you for the gold! Just then, an agent of the bourgeoisie arrived on scene to disrupt the protest with Emerald Dragonkin, Mass Root, the only effective tool against a horde of stampeding mounts. But a minor inconvenience to be sure. I spent 15 hours in Ashenvale killing these mobs for my Green Shard quest, so really, what's one more kill surrounded by my people? I mean, if anything, the fact we were being met with such extreme resistance from the elites served only to validate our noble cause and boost morale. You can keep kiting Emerald Dragonkin in from Ashenvale to temporarily root us, but you'll never stop us. Stay strong! Keep pushing!
RP servers are different, bro. Jeez.
For the whole! Anyway, the auction house is closed on May 14th as planned. Wait, do you really think I could make a difference? I have to cry on Twitter to get Dragonflight Alpha access. I'm powerless, under the radar, like a Smite priest in a GDKP. Blizzard had taken away our auction houses. Okay. But the Horde will endure, for the Horde is strong. Populous Farmers Market. Saturday! May 15th! 10 a.m. Auction house is closed, bitch. Come by and sell your shit at the gates. Also, Frugo, can I just say, great choice on the Naruto font here. Indeed, one
Beautiful.
valiant Tauren had stepped up to give the Horde direction in its hour of need. A time and a place to buy and sell wares physically in person, virtually in World of Warcraft. And what could be more in the spirit of Classic than reconnecting with a bygone age? Decades of gaming had trained me for this very
Giga
moment.
Chad.
And am I not now the master of sales because of it? My product is good. So damn good, in fact, that in Wrath Classic, you people still can't stop begging me for a Lucky Charm. A bit I only did in one single video. That was all it took. Bam! You were hooked. Wanna know why? Because I will not make garbage. I've produced a product that performs as advertised. It's lucky, probably. I'm going to attend this farmer's market with my last batch of Lucky Charms, and I'm going to death roll people for them. If they win, they get a Lucky Charm. If they lose, they give me 25 gold. It's perfect.
May 15th, baby.
Now, if somehow you are unaware as to what death roll...
Chat, when do you think this voiceover was done? In the last month or two? Or do you think this voiceover was actually done like 3 years ago too? Now I'm trying to figure out how this video is freaking pieced together. Ages ago? Yeah. I don't know.
even is, allow me to explain. But before I do, please remember this one thing about gambling. Statistically, you will hit it big if you just keep playing. So here's how death rolling works. One person rolls a dice with an agreed upon amount of sides. The second person then rolls that previous result, and you follow this pattern until someone hits 1. That person is the loser. It's very complicated stuff.
You owe 5 gold for this spot.
I turn to the Tauren slowly. If you try to shake me down, I will burn your parents' house to the ground. Trade cancelled. The farmer's market had barely been open 30 seconds, and already shady folk were trying to scam. It really did feel like the virtual markets of yore.
This is no shakedown. This is a fee you owe.
Don't go to Thunderbluff tomorrow. Death roll! Death roll! For an authentic Barney B Lucky Charm. The last batch of Classic. 25 gold to play.
Oh shit! Pog! Death roll for Lucky Charms?
So who wants a piece of the action, huh?
I accept.
Called out a voice from the crowd. It was Henrik Steggles, the Thistle Teeth Thrifter himself. In the dark
RP
times
add-on.
when the evil
Alright.
bots camped every Swift Thistle node and price-fixed our precious rogue resource, Steggles was there to provide tea for a reasonable price. However, there is no honor among thieves. He may have done me a service in the past, but today I will make a mug of the Thistle Teeth Thrifter. Mug is like British slang for an idiot, and you drink tea out of a mug. These jokes are lost on like so many of you. Actually, I think that just wasn't funny. Hey, shut up. Whose side are you on?
You may roll first.
Hold on a second. The person who rolls first can potentially lose on the very first roll. Does he know rolling second is more advantageous, or was he just
I
being
never even
polite?
thought of
Damn,
that.
now we're gathering a crowd, and I've already monologued in my head far too long to make asking him go first not awkward. I have to roll first, and when I do,
just
precedent
send it.
is set that I roll first every
You're not gonna
time.
roll a 1,
Fuck,
it's
This
fine.
guy's good. Okay, don't worry, I've got this.
It's fine.
I just have to
Not roll a 1.
get lucky. Slash roll 250. I roll a 137. Steggles
It's
rolls
fine.
a 31. I like those odds. I roll and lose the game. Yep.
I will
smoked.
treasure this with my life.
Yeah, luck be with you. Whatever. Who's next?
Me.
Slash roll 250. I roll a 26. Ethereal rolls a 21. I roll and lose the game again.
Whoa, worst RNG world, Barney.
Woot?
What is
Man,
going
who
on?
the fuck says woot in 2021? Who's next?
Okay.
Replied Whackte. And you want to know some shit? I lost this one too.
You lost?
Yes, that's
Oh
what I
for
said. Were
3.
you listening?
Oh
Okay,
for
well that's
3.
3 losses in a row. I can't possibly lose any more, right?
I mean, you
Then I
could.
lost again. And
4,
again.
5.
And again.
Okay, mathematically, you're gonna win.
Again.
Next one.
And again.
Barney, your roll suck. Your roll suck.
Okay, you know what? I can't be giving these away anymore. This is a terrible idea. This is not profitable at all. I gotta change my angle here. Ooh, I think I just came up with the perfect one. Introducing the Barney Beekeeper Lucky Charm.
Okay.
In real life. Wow! Tangible object on sale for real money. Wow! How it's made. Cast in a mithril alloy, smelted in the fires of Blackrock Mountain, hand-polished, deburred, and powder-coated with true silver for a textured finish, the Lucky Charm is then hand-filled with molten saronite, the blood of an old... I'm just joking. It's filled with honey. I'm a beekeeper. Just ignore the otherworldly glow. Ignore the whispers. All that you know will fade. Kill them all. The charm is then placed snugly into its own holster.
Wow.
Heat-formed real leather sourced from the flesh of my last honor kill. They
Wow.
told me leatherworking was useless, but just look at that buckle-style fastener.
Wow.
And tasteful stitching.
Wow.
Beautiful. Attach it to your bag, your keys, or just wear it on your belt, as is all the rage in the Undercity. Are you wearing the authentic Barney Beekeeper lucky charm attached to my 4-strength, 4-stem leather belt?
Yeah.
I am. Don't go outside? No problem. Just take it out the holster and put it on your desk, nerd.
Yeah, but like, what does it do?
What does it do? It's lucky.
Gives you lucky. Yeah, gives you
Probably.
luck. Wait. If Barney had all those lucky charms, Barney should have had a lot of luck, but Barney lost every single roll. So maybe the lucky charms actually make you less lucky somehow. If you have too many of them? Okay, yeah.
I'll take 25. I'm getting commission for this, right?
No? Finally, the charm is placed into its resting box, decorated ornately with the Beekeeper sigil, where it will
Five-head
await your
merch.
purchase
Five-head
at
merch.
Barney64.com.
But wait, there's more. Inherit the nightmare with this striking dramatic artwork by
Lunatic Moon Art.
depicting that time I totally owned that mage version of myself from another timeline. God, that was so sick.
That's
Or
actually
celebrate
pretty
the
fire.
Scarab Lord adventures with this fun, colorful piece by
Yo Basic.
filled with tons of fun details and community favorites. These beautiful posters are available in metal, canvas, or
I like the one on the right. This thing is sick.
good old-fashioned classic paper. What the fuck was that? Oh no, not you. How did you get any?
Oh, the plushies are back. Oh my gosh. Bro.
Yes, the
those
infamous
freak
Barney
me out.
Beekeeper plushie is officially back on the market. All these items are available now for pre-order, and don't worry, influencer stuff is not involved at all. We experienced some, shall we say, difficulties with that last batch of merch, but rest assured my new partners are just the best. In fact, they are also victims of influencer stuff, and he owes them a lot more money than he owes me. It's one of the reasons I actually wanted to work with them in particular. I figured since we're both probably never getting paid because it's worse than you could possibly imagine, we may as well lift each other up out the mud. It's kind of poetic. So if you, dear viewer, want to support my eternal struggle to upload more than one video in a year, head on over to Barney64.com and give me money, because I deserve it. And let's just set the
Okay,
record
dude.
straight, okay? I'm not now leaving the market because I've been completely rinsed for all my lucky charms. I have a raid to attend on my
Sure.
Shadow Priest. Huh? What? Huh? Wow, I mean, what? Shadow Priest in World of Warcraft Classic are really bad. Like, unmistakably in your face. How is this even a thing bad? Out of
It's so funny because I always have a PvP lens over things, and Shadow Priests and PvP are really good, but they are really bad in PvE, so Barney's not wrong. But whenever I talk on stream and I'm like, oh yeah, rogues are terrible, or warriors are terrible, I'm talking about PvP or something, and then the chat is like, no, they're fantastic. Like, it's just always a misconception. Okay, so we're talking about
all
PvE
the
here.
developer-intended specs Classic has to offer, Shadow Priest is the only one truly worthless on a multi-dimensional level. Item 1. They don't do damage. Let's check out my favorite
That's kinda
website,
true.
WoW Logs, and take a random top 50 full BIS Shadow Priest log for Phase 1 and 2 Molten Core. Wow, nice overall damage. Not bad. And with full world buffs too. You should be very proud. Now, Jarvis, show me Uber Danger's logs. You see what I mean? Even if you are a top contender on Shadow Priest, your talents are utterly wasted because somewhere on the other side of the globe is a Moroccan-Danish stoner, spending up to 60 seconds of fight not swinging at the boss, and you are still only just barely clearing his damage. And also, because I'm a dick... WoW Logs is for pussies and bitches, by the way.
Let's go.
Item 2. They can't do damage. What do I mean by this? Well, unlike every other version of WoW that exists in the vast WoWscape, this game has
Wait,
a debuff.
wait. I need to rate this. How do we...
Well, unlike
Okay, hold up. What is this? Lightning in a bottle classic. Okay, Legion was above Wrath, Mop, and bad take. I mean, yeah. Okay, then we have Kata and Wad over What kind of tier list is this, Barney? What kind of tier? It's just how I feel. I mean, I guess it's... Okay, we got to move stuff around. Yeah, Classic is pretty much goated if you want to talk about an MMO. But then we have TBC and Wrath and Mop, like way above all whatever this is. Dragonflight should be down a little bit. Kata should probably be up a bit. Warlord should be down a bit. Shadowlands maybe slightly up. Shadowlands has its own tier. It just says Shadowlands. That's funny. Legion like could probably move down like a spot or two. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with this.
Every other version of WoW that exists in the vast WoW scape. This game has a debuff cap of 16, which is bad. And when you can only have 16 debuffs on a boss, you typically want to use the slots on the best debuff available. And sure, Shadow Word Pain might be responsible for like 20% of a Shadow Priest damage, but you cannot divide by 0.
Flashbang.
And let's face it, Shadow Word Pain is just not Sunder Armor now, is it? The game is rigged. You brought Dental Floss to a gunfight, and you are quite literally not allowed to play. And even if you were to somehow get into a raid by the grace of a loon, you're probably going to be told by your sensei, hey, don't let me catch you going all out, okay? This guy needs to Sunder Armor.
Be hit, boss.
Item 3. They won't do damage? This is just how it is, okay? No self-respecting guild is ever going to gear a Shadow Priest into the position of being able to pump, because that gear is just going to go to literally any other person who can take it. C'est la vie. So why am I gearing a Shadow Priest? Well, Mage Me from another timeline ate the brain of Shadow Priest Me from another timeline, and by me eating the Mage Me's brain, I gained both their memories and abilities. I have like my own. It's really important to eat the cinematic universe here. Like, I need you to understand what's going on. But more importantly, if I want Glaives of Azeroth priority in TBC, I need a Shadow Priest ult. And I realize that I have now left you with more questions, but if you look down, you'll notice this is the part where you've actually become entangled in another great web, which will surely have a payoff in which I'm definitely releasing this year. I hope I don't get scammed. Listen, focus. All you need to know right now is that it is imperative to my World of Warcraft career's continuance I not only learn how to play...
Bro, who else could release content 3 years late and still have it do absolutely insane 300k views in the first 24 hours? That, like, TBC that is insane.
A Shadow Priest, but play it at a competitive level, or at the very least learn how to cheese WoW logs to make it look like I'm playing at a competitive level, but WoW logs is for pussies and bitches. The final boss of Anchorage drops a ring, which is so good for Shadow Priests, it's still Biss next expansion for an entire phase. Meaning, if I can secure this ring right now, I will be so many numbers of steps ahead you guys when we're raiding Karazhan next expansion and Ring of Recurrence drops, I can go, everyone, I'm passing. I already got my Biss. Dude, you're so thoughtful.
What a team player.
You definitely deserve Glaives. I'm gonna send you all my gold. Well, thanks for watching, guys, for watching the video. Like and subscribe. Oh my god, it's so good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna look so cool. But back to reality. How the fuck do you get into a raid as a Shadow Priest when not even a GDKP will take you? Well,
True.
I have the answer. You lie.
Or you just play a Shadow Priest to own noobs in PvP. Like, that's what I would say. Like, yeah, you just play Shadow Priest so you can own everybody. Like, that's pretty much it. That's the only reason you need.
So this is my Shadow Priest ult, Vileplume. Hi, I'm Vileplume, and if I'm being completely honest here, I could give a fuck about playing anything other than Rogue. As such, Vileplume is your modern, no lamp grow, no artificial, no quests, no meaningful journey. Boosted to 60 in 48 hours. No. This ult goes against everything I know and love about my classic experience. But for Glaives, we do what we must. For Glaives, we will turn to the shadow. Or I guess the light in this case. I mean, it is a miracle my priest looks this good considering they're only like a week old. 3-piece Bloodvine set. Wow. Sash of Whispered Secrets. Wow. Cloak of Consumption, which is literally Biss. Are you kidding me? This might be the coldest.
I don't have that much of a problem with boosting an ult. Like, if you already played your main fully natural, you're level 60, you're max level, you had a journey, and it's like, I want an ult. It's like, I understand not wanting to redo a whole nother journey. It's like, no, just get me to 60. Like, just get boosted in dungeons. Like, that kind of makes sense. For me, it's weird if you boost your main. You've never played the content, and you just, like, boost your main to hit 60. It's like, wait, you're skipping, like, the whole game, though. What? Or if you're boosting in hardcore, because then it's like, you're playing hardcore to see if you can live, but then getting boosted so you won't died, but the whole point was to see if you could live. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But this seems fine. Yeah, you're boosting it all, so you can play more characters. Like, yeah, it kind of makes sense.
Just a Shadow Priest has ever looked after 50 hours of gameplay. A story for every piece of gear acquired. I recorded none of it. No. You guys, I am so many levels of undercover, you have no idea. I'm a rogue, masquerading as a Shadow Priest, masquerading as a Holy Priest, masquerading as a guy online, and all this just to avoid healing? Yes.
Dude,
Healing sucks. Hello? It's that simple. I'm not even going on a tangent where I show my working and do a bunch of jokes about why healing sucks. The sky is fucking blue, okay? You wanna fight me about that? I will smite you. Literally, I will smite you. I'm not in a holy spec to heal. I am going to spam Smite, the only offensive single target holy spell, and let the light do the rest. And when I say spam Smite, I mean cast it like 5 times and go because this spell sucks. Why does it cost so much mana? Oh, yeah. You thought Shadow DPS sucked? Wait till you see my patented Smite Priest. And I'm only you won't see me at all. Because I'm a rogue. If you look at the DPS meters and see a Holy Priest at the bottom, what do? You ignore it. Actually, you don't even ignore it. Your conscious brain doesn't even acknowledge it. You subconsciously glance over it. Because a Holy Priest being at the bottom of a DPS meter is not a red flag. It is my green disguise. I am right where I should be.
That's pretty smart.
In plain sight. Now let's smite some fucking bugs.
It's actually pretty smart. I didn't think of that. It's actually kind of what I do in SOD. What I do in SOD is I parse as a healer doing damage. So if you look up my SOD logs, Warcraft logs for Xaryu, I join as a healer and then do damage, and all my parses are like 98, whatever, 97, 99, because I'm a healer doing damage. It's way more fun that way.
Welcome
more fun that way.
Welcome to Anchorage. So the first boss of Anchorage is the Prophet Scarum. You must interrupt his 1-second AoE explosion. You must polymorph the people he mind controls, and when he spawns illusions, you must focus them. If you ignore any of these mechanics, you are fucking griefing. I am fucking griefing. But just look at these numbers. When do you ever get to see a Smite Priest pop up? And I'm well, that was fun. Except my cover is totally going to be blown here because this raid is filled with fucking scrubs. Gul'dan Ramsey can get a pass. He barely leaves Fel's kitchen, but how am I meant to hide at the bottom of the DPS meter if I'm pumping harder than 9 other DPS as a fucking Smite Priest? I'm getting stressed, guys. You don't get it. If I get caught here, it's not just ejection I face, okay? It's a full-blown ban from every GDKP in the Grobulous GDKP network as they all share a blacklist. GDKP is serious business.
Stop right there.
How else is anyone gonna launder their gold that they... The next encounter is Silithid Royalty. You can kill the 3 bugs in any order, but only the last one you kill drops loot. As such, you typically want to kill Kree last, as he drops the most valuable items, so 9 times out of 10 your encounter will look a little something like this. You start by focusing Princess Yauj first, because her AoE fear is fucking annoying. Not that I would know. Next, you focus Vem, the easiest of the 3, but watch out for his charge move. It's fucking brutal. Also, I'm Finally, we deal with Kree. With his AoE melee cleave and AoE ranged poison, there is nowhere Kree cannot get you. And because he is the last bug alive, he is now dealing double damage with increased attack speed. I'm sorry, Sensei, but for this bug, I'm going to have to go all... And I'm Well, that was fun. Also, when Kree dies, he drops poison all around him, which is guaranteed to kill at least one noob who just couldn't wait to see the loot. Lol. Next up is Battleguard Sartora, or, as I like to call it, the Blender. At any given time, Sartora can just start spinning on your shit, dealing insane damage. Which wouldn't be so bad if she wasn't flanked by 3 fuckers who can cause utter chaos with their knockback. In an organized raid, the 3 ads will be grouped, stun-locked, and bursted down on pull, so you can just focus Sartora. In this raid, it was open season on scrubs.
Oh, fuck, we don't have it.
Not looking good.
Oh, now someone.
I tried, buddy. I tried.
Hold her steady.
God, I fucking miss being a rogue.
You heard it. Stay in.
See? It's fine.
It was a hard-fought battle. We had suffered many casualties at the hands of the Blender, but ultimately...
I have such a hardcore mindset after playing hardcore for like almost a year. When I see these deaths, I'm like, and I was like, oh, okay, no, okay, they're just, they can just res.
We stood victorious.
That went a lot better than expected.
You got your secret weapon in the raid, that's why.
Yeah, Jay?
Yeah.
What?
Jay. Now we move on to the Gauntlet, a long corridor teeming with bugs. So many bugs, so many bugs, so many bugs. I am pressing Holy Nova. I am out DPSing mages. Don't worry, guys. Save your mana for the real challenge up ahead.
Hey, Chris, the unyielding.
What horrible mechanics lie in wait? You just
Nothing.
stand and hit.
Free
But honestly,
loot.
this might be my favorite fight in the raid. What? Just hear me out, okay? This raid fucking sucks. Like, every single fight has you running around chasing the boss like a dickhead. It's awful. But on this fight, this one fight, I can just pump. And when
Just
the
do
ads come in
damage.
right at the end and you get to group up and press Sapper, I don't have a Sapper, but when you get to press Holy Nova in a raid encounter, it's just so refreshing. And I'm and I'm moo, and I'm moo my nose. And now we move on to the most controversial encounter in the entire raid. I am, of course, talking about Viscodus. Firstly, this boss deals so much nature damage, it was mandatory during progression to bring an entire nature resist set. This set would be a monstrous amalgamation of expensive bind-on-equip items, crafted items, and low eye-level boss drops. And you're probably thinking, well, wouldn't that affect your damage? And here's the fun part. This boss, this festering glob, this gelatinous pest, is immune to all damage. Feel free to pump into Viscodus as much as you see fit, his health bar will never deplete. This is because you must first hit Viscodus with 200 individual instances of frost damage to freeze him. Now, for casters, this is great. You just get the cheapest, fastest frost one and go crazy. For rogues, you have to farm the final boss of Razorfen Cruel for not one, but two Cold Rage daggers. And then also buy disproportionately expensive frost oil, all to have an 18% chance to deal 1 instance of frost damage per swing. The range bias in this game has been clear as day since 2004. Once frozen, you must now hit
Bro, warriors and rogues have been pumping the meters the whole time. Alright.
Viscodus with 75 melee hits to shatter him into 20 finally vulnerable blobs. Kill as many blobs as you can before they rejoin in the middle, and you have to do this all over again. Luckily, this is classic, and everyone is an engineer, so you just sapper everything for an easy one phase. That's right, there is no part of this fight where you actually get to play. Look, my mana is full.
Nice.
The next boss encounter is Princess Huhuran. She has mechanics, but
easy clap.
You pretty much just stand and hit.
Joe really just not notice these 10 dead people. 4 reses just ran away.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have raid frames open. It's difficult for me to know.
Oh my god. How do you heal?
Huh? It was at this moment I had been busted.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, I'm still not gonna heal. As it turns out, the raid leader, who I know to be a pretty good player actually, is the pilot responsible for this bottom fragging scrub rogue. And despite being told I couldn't play Shadow, this was bring your rat to raid day, apparently. So now I'm just stuck playing Smite Breathe. I could have actually been Shadow. No one would have done anything. This ruse was for nothing. And now I have to explain Twin Emperor's mechanics? I'm not doing it.
Oro.
Oh god, I'm definitely not explaining this fight either. I'm also not even participating. Goodbye, cruel world. Who the fuck soul-stoned me? Is there no rest for the wicked? Honestly.
You betray your friends.
Cthulhu, darling, I'm a Smite priest. I've been betraying them this whole... Wait, have I been under Cthulhu's influence this whole time? Oh god, I've been intentionally griefing my friends who graciously allowed my rat priest to come to this raid super last minute. And now I'm dying on purpose to sandbag even harder? What have I become? What should I do? There's only one encounter left. How do I make this right? Should I... Should I heal? No. WoWlog says I'm pumping.
Ooh, nice. Guys, I have a confession to make. I've actually never killed Cthulhu in Classic WoW in my life. Yes, I'm a noob. Yep, I'm a noob.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many times can I even cast Smite? Never run the damage me and never run the light. Cause you know I'm undercover, bitch, I'm keeping outside. And I'm always out of mana, but I'm getting hella gas. Cause the number that this website gave me tells me that you're trash. So I'm pumping up another healing, bitch, I am the best. They asked me if I could play holy, I told them, bitch, yes.
My mana is low.
Trash. And that's how I got Abyss Ring on my Shadow Priest. It's all coming together.
Nice.
And we'll check in for more Vile Plume subplot later. But because I'm so cool and popular, and I'm just doing cool and popular shit like all the time, I actually have yet another place to be.
1K needles?
Mirage Raceway.
Why are we out here?
Once there was racing here. now. Only a few stalwart racers and fans remain. Until now.
A race to the end of the lesson.
May 15th, 6 p.m. Multiple
RP
races
servers,
featuring
perfect.
competition by class, variations of consumes and chance abilities, fun run for all attendees, and my favorite part, 800 gold in prize money. Well, I think I know what I'll be doing at 6 p.m. on May 15th. However, if you think I'm just going to go into this race unprepared, I beg you, rewatch my entire catalog of WoW videos with ad block off, sub to my Twitch channel, buy my merch, and then reevaluate who the fuck you think it is you're watching. I will be racing against every other rogue who shows up, but this isn't just a race. This is a virtual measuring contest. And I'm a dagger user. So I need to not only beat every other rogue, I need to decimate every other rogue. I need every other rogue to know, I'm nothing like you other rogues. I'm clicking my shit and you still couldn't go log for log.
Alright, guys. This reminds me of EKSR, and 99% of you watching have no idea what EKSR is, but I know there's one guy in the chat, maybe, that knows what EKSR is. No one? No, come on, one guy? EKSR. No. Oh, man. There's not a 100% of you don't know what EKSR is. Story time. Back in Warlords of Draenor, the expansion was so bad that we made up something called Eastern Kingdom speedrunning. Yes, an entire subset of the game called Eastern Kingdom speedrunning. We started at the bottom tip, started the stopwatch, and ran from the bottom tip of Eastern Kingdoms and ran all the way to the north tip. Timed ourselves and tried to get better and better and better at it under a specific rule set, right? You couldn't use your mount, for example, so rogues were like really good at it because you could have burst of speed in that expansion. There was like specific things that you could and couldn't use, but like there was certain points on the map where you could use like Goblin Glider and like glide down and gain a bunch of distance and like do skips and jumps, and like we were theory crafting this EKSR to get a sub 20-minute run was like on fire fast, but I think someone ended up getting like a 16-minute and you had to like record the whole thing and send. Anyway, this was like our content for like months or like weeks at least. It was so much fun. Like Warlords was so bad that we just started doing EKSR runs. Anyway, no one remembers that anymore except me.
I got a Realm First playing on a Steam Deck. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. I'm sipping straight Saronite battling Eldritch Horrors. My mount's so fast it make that global cooldown feel like I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV, you stupid piece of shit. I've been running laps around this course all day, optimizing my route for maximum efficiency. But that's not all. I've amassed an array of tricks and trinkets, anything and everything to give me that extra edge in the competition. Nice. The nifty stopwatch, which I acquired during leveling last year, will finally be dusted off to grant 40% move speed for 10 seconds. The Skull of Impending Doom, also acquired during leveling last year, in the same zone no less, will too be dusted off, are you liking this RP? For 60% move speed for 10 seconds. Goblin Rocket Boots, if I'm lucky, won't explode and will grant 70% move speed for 20 seconds. Hold on one moment. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah, these suspicious potions I bought from a shady salesman allegedly will give me 50% move speed for 15 seconds. Heading over to the rogue trainer, I can unlearn my talents to spec into preparation so I can reset the cooldown of sprint. Now to go to Stranglethorn for the final ingredient. As I boarded the blimp, I was met with my biggest fans, Dawnbreakers. You might remember this guild from the Peace Bloom DKP. Now on their way to drop a heart buff on Yojumba Isle, which just so happens to be the one world buff I'm missing and where I was headed anyway. Wow, how did I get so lucky? Hey, Dawnbreakers. Heart, good luck in your expedition.
I'll pillage your mom. Oh, sorry. Fresh out a peace balloon for you.
Sad face.
Gross is Barney.
Can I join a group for a portal to Thunderblood?
No.
Luckily, not everyone is a dick like these guys. I picked up the final ingredient, a Zanza Potion of Swiftness for 20% flat move speed, leeched the heart buff, and took a portal back to Thunderbluff to continue my training. With preparation like this, I cannot possibly lose.
Yeah, Barney's going all out for the race.
It was a clear, arid evening at the Mirage Raceway, the bleachers audibly creaking and heaving under the weight of too many Tauren. The excitement palpable on the dry air. And I know I say this every time, but just look at this turnout. Grobulus, you've done it again. Humans and orcs united as one for an evening of high-octane speed racing. It matters not your race at the racetrack, for there is one thing at the racetrack you are measured by: your speed.
Someone's getting their shit kicked in by this chicken.
It's Roxy! And let's just say I'm glad I don't have to race in the warrior bracket because the Flash is in attendance, ladies and gentlemen. All this footage was filmed before that Ezra Miller stuff. Vinland, this is not a good look.
First trying to flex your gold stack on the stream.
I'm gonna boil you alive. So let's go over how the race I'm running in will work. In stark contrast to the no spells, no abilities, no items, Fox only, final destination race I am currently using as B-roll footage, my race is going to be a full fun allowed ordeal. One by one, each class moves up to start their race, leaving around 20 seconds in between each class bracket so that, you know, this thing doesn't take all night because 2 races per class. You gotta wait for each class to go around the whole track. If we did this one by one, we would actually be here all night. Once the race is finished, each winner from their respective class then lines up for a winners only screenshot, followed by a special gift given by Gul'dan himself. I feel like I've heard this somewhere before. No. I have butterflies in my stomach. My palms are sweaty. There's vomit on my tablet already. Chill wind Yeti. Wish me luck.
Bruh.
I'm not gonna need it.
Rogues, 3, 2, 1. Go.
So right out the gate, we open
What
with
was that
Goblin
jump?
Rocket Boots, which luckily didn't explode. I lost around a second from hitting my
the
deafen
jump.
macro, which also makes me jump for some reason,
The
but
jump
that's
was
okay.
bad, yeah.
I've already climbed my way into first place because Goblin Rocket Boots are faster than Sprint, which most of these rogues naively opened with. Also unrelated, but I just love looking back at post-Scarab Lord acquisition, but pre-Scarab Lord video release footage where I'm just baiting literally everyone who decides to whisper me about Scarab Lord. I got that fucking mount, I didn't even get to use it because I didn't want to spoil the ending. Next, I popped my first sprint, and at the same time, I unequipped my rocket boots to put on my swift boots, which I forgot to mention in my list earlier,
Holy
but
crap.
that section is already edited and timed perfectly to the background music for optimal pacing, so just deal with it. As I drank my swiftness potion, I noticed specs coming up on the inside of the track, and fast. I popped preparation to reset the cooldown of sprint, but Specs overtook me with his second sprint. Riding the ambiguous inside of the track was a smart technique, but unfortunately for Specs, I'm the fucking GOAT. He quickly fell behind off screen along with the warrior bracket as I comboed the end of my sprint into the nifty stopwatch. At this point, I had a considerable, nigh unbeatable lead and was literally lapping people in other brackets. So much for the Flash, Finland. But I still wasn't done. My swift boots, now ready for action, provided me a short burst of move speed, and once that buff was over, I put my final move to use. The Skull of Impending Doom. The hours of training and time spent amassing these items had bought me a considerable lead, and I was now able to just coast to the end of the track. But if I might dedicate this victory to something, let the
Wait, hold on. We have a swiftest pot off a cooldown, Barney. Come on.
record show that it was not my meticulous planning or rigorous training that secured me this victory. Finish! But the crushed up amphetamines Meon put into my ice cream cone not moments before the race started. Meon, my friend, I could not have done it without you.
In the winner circle, if you would like to give us a cheer, a growl, a yell, a flex, whatever you think looks best.
After the event, I was mailed my share of the winnings, 78 gold and 57 silver, minus 3 gold for the potions, minus 3 gold for the swift boots, minus 50 gold for the respec, minus 600 gold for the shadow breeze ring. So all in all, a pretty good day of playing World of Warcraft. But before I go to bed, let's take a moment to talk about my guild. Now, the plan for Final Boss was always to disband at the end of Classic. That's not to say most of us aren't sticking together going into TBC, but you know how guilds go. Cliques form, rivalries establish, loot drama causes splinters, and at the end of the day, Final Boss had already served its original purpose. We had secured the record for the most number of Scarab Lords in one guild, and we had secured every realm first raid clear. Working together under the best leadership I've ever seen in a guild, we did some downright incredible things. But even incredible things must come to an end. In the weeks leading up to the Final Boss Awards night, where we would officially disband and go our separate ways, those who were planning on sticking around for what would essentially become Final Boss 2 were able to anonymously submit new potential guild names and logos, and whichever got the most votes would win. But the thing with really good World of Warcraft players is, typically speaking, they don't have a fucking creative bone in their body. No flame. I mean, just listen to Kelthos doing karaoke.
I just want to say it now. I'm trying to wind up drama, little mama. Don't want to take your man.
Nah, I wouldn't go in there if I was you.
But I'm trying to tell what it can't be treated like clientele because they say she's delicious.
This guy can frame perfect stance, dance, wave dash with Japanese ping, but ask him to catch the beat and it's like trying to get blood from a stone. All that is to say, when I tell you these names and logos sucked, I'm actually doing them a favor by underselling the reality of the utter creative bankruptcy I was forced to experience. You think I'm overselling it? Here was my submission that was winning by an uncontested landslide. Like, are you serious? And reminder, this was an anonymous submission contest. This wasn't winning because people wanted to side with me, the content creator. This was winning because every other submission sucked ass. But that night, after the races, after everyone had gone to bed, disaster struck. Terra Orc, the true owner and GM of Final Boss, one of the most chaotic people I have ever played with, decided to do something pretty fucking funny. He kicked every single person from the guild, locked the Discord, and logged off.
I don't care. Elemental Mastery, Chain Lightning, Frostbite.
I awoke to utter chaos, but much worse than that, I awoke to a new guild name, and it wasn't sample text. The only leadership online during the Terra Orc Crisis event, those who would have to pick up the pieces and form the new guild, were obviously not concerned with who won the shitty Discord naming contest. They were concerned with setting up a guild and a Discord and all the permissions and all the bureaucracy bullshit that comes with that stuff, and they just had to use the pieces they had at the time. And so it was that Final Boss ended, and in its place emerged Murmur. Wow, nice name. Wow. Dude, does this name suck or what? Murmur? Like, the last boss of Shadow Labyrinth?
I was thinking
Is this guy even that sick? Let me check his lore.
He's
This
kind of
guy
a cool
is not
boss.
sick, you guys. Ooh, he's so powerful.
Okay, let's be Murmur is kind of a cool boss. It's Ragnaros, but like spectral Ragnaros. Like, Murmur's actually kind of cool. I remember doing that as like a 14-year-old or something. It's like, this is badass.
When he got summoned, he blew up Arkandun. Guys, Illidan is in this expansion, you know that, right? Like, the bar for sick guys is pretty high. Murmur? Later that evening, with the bitter taste of the name Murmur still settling on our tongues, we made the long trek up Hyjal Mountain to stand at the foot of Nordrassil for the Guild Awards as planned. An evening of celebration for all we as a collective have achieved.
I don't think any other guild can say that they did the same things that we were able to do.
But also a time to recognize individuals for their unique contributions to the guild.
I don't really cry that much, but
I took home the award for Scarab War MVP, delicious, but in truth, the Guild Awards were just a distraction. Final Boss is far too infamous to simply just disband in Hyjal after a cute night of autofellation. Pre-patch drops tomorrow. This was our final chance for a final ride as Final Boss. What?
Wait a minute. There was a bunch of people that like witnessed Barney getting the Scarab Lord. How did that secret not get out? Or did it kinda? Because I feel like there was people there that like witnessed the gong being run, you know what I mean? Like, how did that, they like whoever kept that a secret actually did a pretty good job, right?
You are witnessing here is 80 level 60 Horde players about to storm Ironforge and kill King Magni Bronzebeard. It's going to be a complete and utter massacre.
Doing 90 in the Prius trying to make it.
Teleporting to Orgrimmar, we took a flight path to Splinter Tree Outpost in Ashenvale. You normies probably don't know what it's like to have assassin squads tracking down your every move, even to the peaks of Hyjal Mountain during a guild event no less. But just know that summonless operations like this require a carefully planned route. Why Splinter Tree Outpost and not Zoram Strand if our target is the Orbidine Pier in Darkshore? So we can run through Astronar to make it look like we're targeting Night Elf territory? Anyone tracking us at this point would assume we are leading an attack onto Teldrassil by way of Darkshore, when really, we're heading in the opposite direction to Menethil Harbor. Menethil Harbor, of course, because whilst Ironforge is closer, this still leaves room for the Alliance to ponder a Stormwind mix-up. We did just pass by Teldrassil after all, so who's to say we won't pass by the obvious choice again?
Who's excited, not even for pre-patch, for the auction house to come back up tomorrow?
I tried! Once we made it to Dunmoreau, however, that was when it became clear what our intentions were. Our spies were already reporting a large Alliance defense bolstering in Ironforge, allegedly 100 men strong.
Oh my god, dude, this is the most dwarven overlords I've ever seen, and they're all in Ironforge right now.
They just ran across the world
the
for no
most
reason at all.
badass roleplay guild on Grobulus. They don't fuck around.
Okay.
Every Sunday they host a meeting to update their Great Book of Grudges, a sort of kill-on-sight list, if you will. And most of us are definitely in this book, always in character. If you want to deal with the dwarves, you have to do it on their terms. When I wanted to get this very shot, for example, I had to organize all of this in roleplay. So I had a diplomatic meeting in Menethil Harbor to discuss, hey, can I come and film in Ironforge? And the takeaway was, well, yeah, but if we see you, we're gonna kill you. And they did, but just look at that shot. Ah, cinema. Once again, putting my life on the line for the shot, I crept up the mountain to the gates of Ironforge. Bad idea, but just look at that shot. Ah, cinema. As final boss were fighting tooth and nail in the entrance choke point, I received a res, only to be immediately one-shot by a rogue. Helplessly gazing on in horror for minutes, I watched as the Alliance not only defended the gates of Ironforge, but completely overwhelmed us too. According to sweaty PvP add-ons, there were as many as 250 Alliance at this time, 3 Alliance for every one of us. And to make matters even worse, our raids were split, making the classic mass res plus sapper strat completely ineffective. So with the Alliance gathering around my corpse like that scene in Spider-Man 2, I executed Operation Distract. Greetings, I said, standing confidently before the Alliance. Hello there. And as expected, they took the bait. Their long bouts of mind control drawing the attention of yet more defenders, all eager to get a piece of the famous Beekeeper, was just the distraction we needed to get an advantageous position. Once enough of the Alliance were split, I uttered the go phrase, "Let it rip," and fled the scene. What followed next was the video game equivalent of a sucker punch, a concentrated bombardment of sappers and AoE abilities, which completely obliterated the Alliance vanguard. We had taken them by surprise, and now was the time to push forward into the city. Clearing the gates of Ironforge, we stormed the main atrium and ducked into a nearby alleyway. So close to the throne room now, all we had to do was kill this long trail of guards and then engage King Magni Bronzebeard. Unfortunately, I didn't quite make it to the AoE spot. The Alliance swooped in for another wipe, and at this point, morale had taken critical damage. Something I've noticed about very good WoW players is that if they become accustomed to an environment where losing simply doesn't occur, they will eventually be unable to stomach the very notion of a loss, much less the reality of one. If one wipe in Nax is considered unacceptable, a taboo so nefarious your bloodline will forever inherit your shame, it's pretty easy to see why half our numbers had already simply just logged off. After the grand blunder that was Silithus, where every Alliance guild turned on each other to the demise of their entire faction, the Alliance had finally come together to defeat an ancient evil. 7 Sages, Damage Networks, Obsidian Sun Company, Dwarven Overlords, Clover Club, Sundered, After Dark, Moonblade Sentinels, Phoenix Down, and so many more had made a grand stand at Ironforge to defeat the final boss of Grobulus. And with that, we can say goodbye to my classic guild. Final boss is dead. Long live final boss. 80 deep in Ironforge. Anyway, I slipped out the fucking back. I heard they were camping people's corpses and they were camping the graveyard, so you couldn't even spirit revive.
There's so many fucking
Yeah, no thanks. I will take the train to storm.
Wait, if Barney just wanted the shot, why not just stealth in solo? Okay, yeah, never mind that one.
Zoning into the Deep Run tram station, I happened upon Nymeria, the only druid I respect, and it just seemed poetic. An unlikely Alliance friendship served as the foundation on which I built an empire, and now, at the end of this journey, it was an unlikely Alliance friendship which would see me off. I never thought I'd go into pre-patch side by...
Guys, is the classic tier sets, are they just goated in terms of design, or is that nostalgia clouding my mind? Because they just seem so goated to me, man. But I saw them as a 12-year-old, so I don't know if it's just the nostalgia. Look how good all these sets look, bro.
Side with an elf, but side by side with a friend? Oh. Now that I can do. So long, classic. And thanks for all the... This is not the end of the video, by the way.
There we go.
The Burning Crusade pre-patch had landed.
Look at the set, bro.
Wait, have they turned off my anti-aliasing?
Yes, they did, and so much more. If you haven't played through a World of Warcraft pre-patch in your time as a gamer, you've probably been spending your time wisely. But allow me to give you the rundown anyway. It's basically where the game is updated to the next expansion's framework, but the next expansion's content is still inactive. But just because we can't access the next expansion's content doesn't mean to say there aren't new features to explore. Take, for example, called the Dark Portal in the Blasted Lands, one of the most iconic locations in Warcraft history. It's now green.
Oh, they went and made it woke.
You can now link spells in
Wasn't it always green? Was it blue in the original? I swear it was always green, wasn't it? It was blue in the original? Now you guys are... No way, was it actually blue? Oh. And then they changed it to green? I swore it was green, bro. I mean, I believe you guys. I guess I'm just wrong.
It's now green.
Oh, they went and made it woke.
You can now link spells in chat. Anal. And honor gains in Battlegrounds are completely fucked.
Wow, wait, what?
Now that level 70 is the game's internal max level, level 60 Battlegrounds aren't worth shit. Win or lose, such little honor is now gained that before my very own eyes, over the course of a 2-hour session, I saw the most despicable meta form. You just AFK. Yes, the situation was so dire, it was actually more efficient, more honor per hour, to just AFK, lose, and go next. And then naturally, because everyone wants to be the team that is AFKing, no one is actually playing the fucking Battleground, making it take longer than if you had just played it as intended in the first fucking place. But that's besides the point. The real victim in all of this? Community manager Linksy. Imagine you're just minding your own fucking business, simply just doing your job, posting some bug fixes to the forums, and then you get swarmed by ravenous fucking beasts.
Didn't ask.
Fix the honor, or I'm AFK until launch.
No one cares.
Fix the honor.
Where honor?
Like 234 honor for every win?
Blizzard, you are a joke.
Blizzard. Bro, how are the WoW forums so bad? Like, even Reddit is better somehow. Like, I don't even understand, bro. Like, they're so bad. Like, I'll have people on Twitch with some crazy takes, but a lot of you guys are thinking things through, and then, like, same with YouTube, it's, like, kind of whatever. Then Reddit might be, like, a little worse, but it's still kind of whatever. Then the forums, it's just, like, the takes on the forums, it's just, like... What? How do you even think of that, man?
I don't think we should fix the background.
Everyone knows
Honor is not supposed to be just mad.
Honor, seriously, please give us at least... Don't mind me, just necroing this post for a video. Lol. Yeah, the Battlegrounds weren't really worth the trouble, which is a shame because pre-patch gave me Mutilate and I really wanted to one-shot some noobs. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to do things the old-fashioned way, standing outside Marathon, spamming 1, waiting for a booster to exit the dungeon. You know the drill. Did Virgin and I camp outside this entrance until Battleground PvP was back on the menu? But of course. But if I might just rewind time just a bit, there was another thing the pre-patch added I just had to check out myself. In the ruins of Lordaeron, ignore this guy, we'll come back to him soon, I promise. There is now a portal to the elven city of Silvermoon, which itself is situated in the beautiful Eversong Woods. And what an utterly gorgeous zone, a treat for the eyes so rarely afforded to us Horde players. Sure, for you Alliance, it's all castles and culture, but I came up from the fucking dirt, literally. I'm not accustomed to this league of aesthetics. The golden leaves set against a perfect pink sky, the stunning marble architecture with its tasteful blood-red accents, the necrotic wound running down the length of the... Okay, yeah, that's actually starting to feel a bit more like home. But I didn't come here just to smell the peace bloom. I wanted to do my part for the Horde and warmly welcome our new elf allies. Bearing gifts of gold and lucky charms, a small crowd had formed around me. It wasn't much, but if you've played WoW, you know just how far 1 gold can go on a fresh character. And the lucky charm is of course priceless. Buy my merch.
Hey Barney, your Scarab Lord vid is why I started playing this game.
Hey, I've ruined this guy's life. I'm already in the pit, you understand? Like, you don't need to come down here with me. World of Warcraft is best experienced vicariously through anyone else. Just then, my Arathi Basin queue popped. It was another AFK fiesta. And when I got back, all the elves were naked. This is why I don't fuck with you elves. Never should have come here. It's like a fucking Uber danger video.
Family
so
friendly,
how about
guys,
that demon we saw back in Lordaeron, huh? What was that all about?
No, not another Vile Plume,
Shadow
man.
Priests in pre-patch are really good. Like, how did we ever play without a Shadow Priest in our raid good? With the removal of debuff limits and a reimagined talent tree, Shadow Priests are now single-target powerhouses that can also heal the entire raid at the same time. And in TBC, we become even more powerful. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're here to talk about world bosses. World bosses! It's a fucking long video. There are many markers to signify a good guild, but what sets a good guild apart from a great guild, maybe even the best guild, is the ability to secure a world boss kill. World bosses combine the thrill of a PvE DPS check with the chaos of an overworld PvP objective. But because only one raid can get the tag, and the world boss comes with built-in pro-griefer mechanics, it becomes the most insane every guild for itself battle of attrition the game has to offer. And when you take into account the fact these bosses only spawn at best once a week, you have on your hands the ultimate test of your guild's coordination, execution, and willpower. I have literally had times where I wake up, fuck around at Kazakh for 12 hours, go to bed, only to wake up and still be in the same war of attrition. And what could possibly be worth all that stress and repetition, you're probably thinking? Best in slot gear?
loot.
Naturally. Despite being released earlier in the game's life cycle, some of the items world bosses can drop are so good, should you acquire them, you wouldn't replace them until several phases into the next expansion. Which brings me to the Fel-infused legs. Dropped by Lord Kazakh, these shadow damage pants are just insane. When I say bis, I mean so I got to thinking, it's pre-patch. World boss loot has largely been outscaled by raiding gear, and layers are at an all-time high. Surely, if I just go to the blasted lands and hop from layer to layer, eventually I will get lucky. Wow, I can't believe I got lucky. And now for my favorite part, the part where I get to pass my selfish actions off as entirely selfless for good merit and glaive prio. Near enough, my entire guild has class swapped for TBC because they are class traitors, and as such, they're not going to say no to the opportunity to come get world boss loot on their freshly dinged 60s. So come on guys, let's kill this world boss I scouted for all of us. Let's all gear up together. Now let's talk boss mechanics. You must heal through his Shadow Bolt volley. You must cleanse his mana draining curse. And don't forget, you're on the clock. If you do not kill Lord Kazakh before 3 minutes, you will die. If you go you will die. And worst of all, if you die, he will heal for 1/5 of his health and free cast another Shadow Bolt volley. So do not die. Such mechanics require perfect execution at the very minimum, but honestly, this fight is so much easier when you don't have to also fight like 10 other guilds off at the same time.
Easy.
Nice.
Legs.
Unfortunately, my pants did not drop, but then I remembered that other big demon currently running around Lordaeron. What's his deal? He looks exactly like this guy. Well, turns out it's because he's just a copy-paste of Lord Kazakh. Same mechanics, same loot, just able to spawn in a few different locations during pre-patch. This is perfect.
Yeah,
so I convinced the raid to continue this world boss train to Lordaeron. Come on, guys, 5 minutes, in and out, 1 pull, 1 kill, just like we did here. How hard could it be? So we roll up to Lordaeron and pull the boss. And as expected, it's just a fucking easy 1 pull. It's just another dub for Mama.
Legs,
so close I can taste them. Wait, no, that low level just joined combat. No, you fool, you're gonna die. No. Oh, bosses. So next pull, we tank the boss off to the side and kindly ask the low levels to fucking know their place. Alas, noobs will be noobs. And now that the boss was for the first time since spawning actually being attempted in earnest by a visibly competent raid, the rats came a-squeaking. He says he's got cold.
I have
You're
cold.
gonna die in 1 hit, dude. You're not in a raid. Just get out. No. With tensions building in the looking for group chat and randoms upset that they weren't being invited, it was chaos for the next 20 minutes. Obviously, we weren't going to be able to secure a kill under such conditions. So whilst the children were tiring themselves out in their cute little pugs, we got to work summoning reinforcements to double our numbers. Once our raid was full and the rats were on 2-minute resurrection timers, we swooped in to secure the kill. And it's just another easy server first for these grobulous legends.
Thank everyone who came out today to let Murmur know they're not welcome.
What do you say fuck me for?
They are not our faction.
Who even are you? Alas, my pants went undropped yet again. What's a Shadow Priest to do? Because I'm not about to spend the next 2 weeks going from layer to layer scouting for world bosses. Oh, fuck. So I spent the next 2 weeks going from layer to layer scouting for world bosses. When I got a hit, I summoned in the crew of class traitors to feed them easy gear. Hey, remember in Scarab episode 3 when I said, I'm gonna kill Azhagos? Well, I meant it. Any world boss can catch these hands because any world boss scouted and killed is more goodwill for me. And I will get those glaives.
Oh, Moosey, did you lose that roll?
Sometimes we were successful with a quick 1 pull. Other times we had to fight tooth and nail for what was rightfully ours. But when it came to Kazakh, there was one constant. No pants. Why? No pants. Kazakh, please, just drop your pants.
God, no pants.
It's so bad. That's rough.
That was fun.
Wait, who's getting the demonic runes? Clear comms. Who's getting demonic runes? 2 weeks
Clear
later,
comms.
I have killed 4 Azuragoses, 4 High Lord Crawls, 7 Green Dragons, and 6 Kazakhs. And I am still without pants. I have spent near enough every waking moment scouting world bosses. Don't believe me? Kay's in utter horror at my 8-layer round-the-clock surveillance, which even for me is a bit much. But someone's got to make the content, right? We can't all just watch it. So I log in at 7:51 a.m. to start my final shift. And who do I find standing right in front of me but Lord Kazakh himself? How did I ever get so lucky? Unfortunately for me, TBC drops in like 12 hours, and most people are either in bed resting up or out buying amphetamines. Usually when I'd find a world boss, the response time would be near instantaneous. But this time, it took nearly 45 minutes of me incessantly calling people on Discord, waking them up.
Wake up! We got Kazakh!
To scrounge together just enough people for a sketchy pull. But I've only lost out on one world boss this entire patch, so my ego is in complete overdrive and I will have my pants. I mean, this is about Guild Legacy, guys. Are we as Murmur about to let anyone else have a world boss? I don't think so. So we pull the boss, and for the first minute, damage is good and we're on track for a kill. That's when a random rogue logs in and asks for an invite. Oh no! Could I have invited this random guy? Yes. Did I? No. I was bracing for the inevitable wipe, but luck must have been on my side because despite taking constant melee cleave and shadow bolts, this random rogue did not die. And when Lord Kazakh fell, he finally dropped his pants.
Yes! Yes!
That was good.
Heroes of the Horde, today we march upon the Dark Portal to take the battle to the Burning Legion. Brothers and sisters, we begin our march for the Horde!
Are we there yet? So a few hours before the Dark Portal was due to open, the Grobulous Horde roleplay community had one final event planned.
Roleplay walk to the Dark Portal.
Come celebrate the opening of the Dark Portal in true Grobulous tradition. Starting from Gromash Hold in Orgrimmar, we are going to roleplay walk all the way to the Dark Portal in Blasted Lands. A final contemplative send-off before we rid ourselves of that indescribable classic magic and take one step closer into the retail abyss. Oh, Orgrimmar, the ultimate constant reminder of just how populated this game was. Never once did the masses gathering for world buffs fail to amaze me. This game was alive 24/7 in a way I have never experienced before. And even now, at the end of Classic, at 10 a.m., this game is still giving me things I didn't know I needed, like seeing a line of bears waiting for a Zeppelin.
Surprised this platform can bear all the weight.
Okay.
No, but he makes a good point. What's the weight capacity of a Zeppelin? Does anyone know? Boarding the blimp 120 strong, it was obvious we were testing the absolute limits of Goblin technology, but if we crash, at the very least, we won't have to experience the Burning Crusade. But yeah, we just roleplay walked for several hours. I wish I had more to say.
Sounds like Barney doesn't like TBC at all. That's interesting. I feel like TBC is pretty good still. From like a RPG perspective, it's not as good as Classic, but I feel like it was still pretty good.
But I'm kind of grasping at straws trying to commentate over footage of people just walking. Like, we walked, and then we stopped at Karazhan for lunch. Like, this is very difficult. And yeah, I could write a good script and kind of tie everything up nicely, drawing parallels between this long roleplay walk and the long journey that is Classic, or maybe even the long journey that is life in general. But guys, I just don't want to do that. Okay, fine.
Have you ever thought about adding servers for previous expansions as they were then?
Had to do it to him.
And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
Okay.
From the very moment I could clumsily form etchings with a pencil, I was already telling stories. A dinosaur tried to kill me, but I killed him. I jumped on his head. Of course, this is an English translation of the original text, but as the author, I can promise you this translation is accurate and approved. 10th of July, 1998. I wish I could get better at writing. It's 2008. I'm studying English literature and language with theater studies on the side. Can I get a yikes? I didn't really have a plan, but...
No wonder Barney's so good. Okay, that makes more sense.
I knew I wanted to tell stories or to write or act or both or something. I don't know. I'm 15, dude. What do you want from me?
But what I really want to do, like, really want to do,
is play World of Warcraft all night with my friends. Can I get a hell yeah? Patch 3.3 just dropped, dude. Have you been to the Forge of Souls? The first boss music, he comes in, he's like... And this is just the first boss of the first dungeon of the whole patch, and I haven't even started talking about Icecrown Citadel, the raid yet. Best patch ever. How could school possibly compete? In here, I can be Decidius, Blood Elf Paladin, Defender of the Horde, and Anomalous Catalyst of Strange Occurrences? You see, it was around this time I first became aware of my curse, my chaos aura, let's call it. For some reason, when I'm in a video game, inexplicably random and oftentimes incomprehensible events unfold before me. I don't know why this happens, but something about the way I candidly, honestly interact with virtual spaces seems to make them malfunction. Like I'm the glitch. I mean, you telling me people don't look at Barney Beekeeper like the motherfucking glitch? Like I shouldn't even be here? Dude, I was on the side of the box the whole time. I digress. It's in my code. My friends have told me...
Partying with you in an MMO makes me feel like I've taken the world way to them perk.
Yes.
Okay. Here I am on twitch.television accidentally clipping through the elevator in Serpent Shrine Cavern and managing to get up into the rafters. That's pretty cool, right? Wrong. For the next week, because I had inadvertently discovered new speedrun tech, I was contacted by geeks asking me how I did it non-stop. Why am I haunted by a malevolent QR tester? On one fateful night, I queued up to tank Halls of Reflection alongside one of my friends. And considering this is one of my stories, the start was actually pretty good. We had slain the first two bosses and were making our way to the final encounter. For those that don't know, the last boss of this instance has you making your escape from the titular Lich King, who is slowly marching towards you with a one-shot aura. As Arthas raises the dead and ice walls to thwart your escape, you must kill waves of ads so that Sylvanas or Jaina can focus on the walls. If you fail the DPS check and don't bring down the walls in time, Arthas catches you, and it's game over, bitch.
It's cool raid. Or cool instance.
Unfortunately, on this run, my group wasn't up to the task. The Lich King caught up to us, and he clipped through us, and kept walking, and we cheated death. What you are looking at here is the only known surviving screenshot of Decidius the Paladin in the midst of yet another kooky scenario. A screenshot that only survives because my friend put it on Facebook 2 years later. Huh? As we were all celebrating having cheated death, Arthur suddenly one-shots the entire party except me because I had just so happened to bubble right before he did that because, of course I did. That was the night I made this YouTube channel that you're watching right now, Decidius. Was taken because someone took the URL. How does that always happen? It was like 2008. YouTube was barely a thing. I had decided to share with the world of Warcraft my strange adventures, my cursed dungeon runs, the guild dramas, all of it. And so I sat down to work. I opened Sony Vegas and looked at the blank project file before me. In here, I would craft my first video. In here, I would craft my masterpiece.
Decidius Adventures.
Now, does anyone know how to make a video?
Yeah, I tried for a while. It's tough. I have a YouTube editor now.
It's 2019. Following my growing disappointment with Warcraft due to, just to name a few things, the homogenization of classes, Activision, inconsistent character writing, terrible game mechanics, Activision, microtransactions, Activision, Volterra as a playable race, Activision, too many damn buttons, Activision. I had finally given up on World of Warcraft. Now, that's not to say I hadn't actually enjoyed World of Warcraft recently, for all the faults surrounding artifact power, the unnecessary abundance of legendaries and Biss gear being locked behind bullshit Titan forging RNG. The high highs of Legion truly made up for all of that. And I don't think enough people appreciate how badly they could have fucked this one up, especially knowing what we know now. Blizzard brought back a long since canonically dead beloved character, added new story to recontextualize existing canon, and completely risked desecrating the entire character's legacy on a crapshoot. But through good writing, all things are possible. They made us root so hard for this villain that now people mistakenly remember Illidan as a hero first. And okay, whilst it's not that simple and we love him regardless, let's not pretend like this is a good guy. But that's good writing. Good writing makes you empathize with a villain. Good writing makes you appreciate, love a villain. But make no mistake, This is a villain. This was never a story about Illidan's redemption. This was always a story about Illidan's commitment to his condemnation. How he utilized his deal with the devil to take revenge on the devil himself. So badass. This is not a heroic self-sacrifice. This is one last true-to-character self-serving act of vengeance. This is a villain getting exactly what he wanted no matter the cost. Racism, slavery, torture, murder, genocide, every despicable choice, every sacrifice not his to make, leads him to his goal. And we applaud him when he gets there. That, my friends, is the genius character writing of Legion.
I'm sitting over here as like a PvPer, and I'm like, all right, Legion. Okay, what rank 1 titles were those? What tournaments were those? RBGs. Okay. What did I play? Arcane Mage, Elemental Shaman, RMP. A lot of Windwalker Mage. That was really good back then. Okay, yeah, Legion. Got it. Yeah, Legion. Yep, there we go. I remember now.
So just imagine my dismay when BFA happens. Where Legion had you hooked wanting to know what would happen next out of excitement, BFA had you questioning why any of it was happening at all. And honestly, I'm not even trying to get that deep into it. BFA was just horrible. It was the worst expansion to date at the time, and coming off the Legion high made that seem even worse. I found the state of the game to be so poor, so far from what made me fall in love with it, that I questioned if the love was ever there to begin with. Was the magic once real, or was I just a dumb kid who fell for cheap parlor tricks? World of Warcraft.
I didn't hate Battle for Azeroth that much when it launched, but I think I had like a bias opinion on it because I was playing with like Rekful and like Mitch doing like double mage, like 3k pushes. Like we were just doing like the craziest content at the time at the start of BFA that it just felt so fun. The hype just felt real, at least for the PvP scene. But like looking back, I guess I probably like Legion more. But I don't know. I don't seem to regard Legion as high as some people. So
the rotting corpse of a once great monarch. But no king rules forever. Only death is eternal. But Classic is launching, and they already got my sub money for the year, and I have nothing else to do. Well played. And so I installed some add-ons and waited for the servers to open.
Deadly boss mods, I just installed it anyway. I don't think there's gonna be any, I'm not gonna...
As you can see, I was barely considering the possibility that I would even play this enough to experience a raid. I was just dipping my toes in. I was just Classic curious. I was just setting up an auto-clicker to get in on frame 1. Okay, so maybe I was a bit more excited than I'm letting on. In truth, I had been up all night in anticipation, wondering if lightning in a bottle could really strike twice.
I feel like it always is that with WoW. I know for me, like when Kata launched, I only played Kata, and I'm talking about Kata 2012? No, 2011? Whenever Kata came out in 2011? 10? Something like that. I only played because there was a 2-week free trial, and that was it. I was like, I'm only playing for the 2-week free trial. I'm done after 2 weeks. That's it. Guys, I still have my same account from that 2-week free trial. It's been like 14 years since then. I've only unsubbed like a couple times since then.
So I wake up in the crypt alongside who else but Eddie, just another name in the crowd at present. Who could have predicted our fates were already intertwined? Now at the time, I was only planning on playing Classic privately for my own enjoyment, with maybe the occasional stream if you were lucky. Sure, I had some loose goals.
I want to become a notorious rogue that camps. I want to do streams where I just oh, I guess I can't stream it because then people would know.
Yeah, that's the one downside of streaming. I was like, before Barney even said that, I'm like, you can't do that. You cannot stream that kind of content because people will come and like they know where you are. Then there's 40 people that show up. Then you're the one being like, that's the kind of stuff you have to do off stream, right? There's like streaming owns. There's a few cons though, and that's one of them. Like you can't do that.
I want to camp the boats, the Alliance ships, and just sap people who are trying to get on the ship. Not even necessarily kill them,
but just sap them. But I wasn't planning on making any kind of YouTube content. I was just playing for me. I was doing it for me. As a content creator, it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like you have to monetize every gaming experience. So it's important to keep certain games as games you're not going to turn into work. And this is how I was treating Classic going in. This is for me. I am playing this for me and my enjoyment, and I'm not even gonna think about making content. But as we know, that's not really how things went, and here's why. In the undead starting area, you can pick up a quest named Marla's Last Wish that has you killing a guy for being the wrong kind of undead and burying the evidence. That is, of course, a gross misrepresentation of the quest dialogue, but I do not trust this bitch. Anyway, having done this quest more times than you could possibly imagine, I made my way over to where I knew the mob spawned.
And that's when I saw it in all its magnificent splendor. Why, my British eyes could barely believe it.
The perfect queue. Gamers waiting patiently in line for their turn to kill the quest mob. A scenario so profoundly absurd. It was magical. This is so good. Seeing this queue
until you have Peekaboo come up, skip the line, and then take everyone's kill.
Experiencing this queue immediately reignited a long since dormant flame, because this wasn't just a queue. This was fate reminding me that this game is a special kind of catalyst for ridiculousness. The kind of ridiculousness that can inadvertently shape your entire future. 11 years ago, I could not realize my dream of becoming a Warcraft storytelling legend. But that first step put me on a path I never stopped walking. And now, 11 years later, my dream represents itself before me. Only this time, it wasn't video if. It was video when.
Poor dragon, man. Ding. Yum.
Now here we go, it's the end of the show. Hear them, they're
Put me in YouTube. I swear this was always green. I must be tripping.
World of Warcraft Classic was the perfect catalyst for me to finally realize my long-held dream of becoming a storyteller. It gave me the perfect opportunity to prove to myself that I wasn't just a dreamer. I wasn't just a washed-up League of Legends cringe-lord with nothing more to give. I was everything I thought I was, and more. And the path doesn't even end here. Not everyone has a dream. Fewer still get to achieve them. But for me, I got exactly what I wanted. So, when I hear this guy say...
And by the way, you don't want to do that either. You think you do, but you don't.
This guy. This fucking guy. Was 100% right. This shit sucks ass. It's just standing and hitting.
Bro. Well done, Barney. Well done. Did not disappoint. 1 hour and 9-minute video. Very, very well done.
It's not long. My entire life has been gaming. Do you think I have stories? Yeah, this one time when I was gaming.
True.
Doesn't really work, does it?
A Tale of Two Glaives. Okay, so we're gonna finally get the TBC content we've always deserved in 2024 when Kata's coming out. And all of us are still gonna watch it and love it. Like, guys, can you imagine if I was releasing arena footage from 3 years ago? Like, that's how good this content is. It's out of date and it's still so good. It's insane. April 1st, though. No, it's not a joke. No, it's not a joke, is it? A Tale of Two Glaives is actually happening. We're not trolling here, chat. This is real. This is actually happening, I think. It was uploaded on... Yeah, it was uploaded on April 1st. But yeah, okay, there we go. Guys, we did it. We did it, and it was very worth it. It was very worth it.